because I haven't been fencing for a long time. I don't really know at the moment what I'm looking for, what I'm looking to improve.
Yeah. So like, let's say back last year, right? What was your goal at that point?
National championship, basically.
So like national team?
Well, I don't think I could have made it last year, but basically getting a really good result at the national championship was the main goal.
Okay, so high performance is your goal, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so that means I have to be harsh.
Yeah, you can.
Go for it.
Okay, that's fine. That's good. And then you said you really liked watching Beljajeva.
Yeah.
Which is good. As soon as you said that, I knew exactly from I could just see it in your fencing. Okay. So this bout here. Where was this again?
In Lyon, in France.
Okay.
It was a regional senior women's regional competition in Lyon.
And then this girl here, she's highly ranked.
Yeah.
She's about 80th nationally, 70th or 80th nationally, senior women's. So sort of good, like not in the national team, but a good solid fencer.
Awesome. Okay, that's good. So like in my opinion, honestly, from what I saw, there's no way you should be able to lose to her. I think you have you have the skill set to beat her. I just think you need to focus, but that's fine. Also, just like FYI, just so you know, I'm not like I have international experience and I've fenced World Cups for like 10 years, so I'm not just some guy pretending to and anyway, like the advice is coming from somewhere, from experience anyway. So I'm not just some guy off the street.
Sure.
My coach, I don't know if you know Eric Bois.
Yes.
But he's pretty good. He's my personal coach right now. So so I can hopefully I can bring you a lot of experience.
Yeah, I hope so.
And now it's just because we can't really fence, so I already know what I'm gonna roast you on your footwork. So likely what we'll have to do, we'll do review today, and then maybe one day we'll do like a Zoom footwork or something.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
So what was your mindset going in this match?
I was pretty confident, and because I had been fencing really well the rest of the day, just focusing on my fencing, and that's it. At the start, that was my mindset. Then it changed, but
you're feeling.
I was feeling pretty good.
When you say you're focusing on your fencing, what does that mean?
I was not changing anything, just playing my game, but then adapting to what she was going to do after, what was going to be her action.
So what is your game?
It's a lot of pushing and playing with the blade, I think.
Okay.
And the hand touches mainly.
Perfect. Sometimes people say, I'll do my game, and then you ask, what's your game? And they're like, well, I don't know. So you have a game, which is good.
They had been working. She came out of pools pretty well, and she'd been scoring a lot of hand touches. Like normally when she's fencing well, her points pretty well placed, so she'd been scoring a lot on the hand. And I think she was looking for the same thing. Yeah.
So right away, like first thing I noticed, like you're really heavy on your front leg.
Yeah.
And it's gonna punish you, I think, 4 times in the next 2 minutes, well 3 minutes, because it's how long we have.
That's okay. Good stuff, miss. Come on.
This is fine. This is just a double. What kind of worries is there's a hand feint somewhere in here. See, look at this. How so much of you is committed to this, and if she actually decides to flush here, maybe double, maybe, but like on you, you're very committed for something that shouldn't be.
Yeah. Okay.
Like you want to do a hand feint, and like half your butt is sticking out, your leg is straight. Even if she did react somewhere different, you've got nothing to explode with. So realistically, this feint isn't a feint. This is your whole action. Because I think the next best thing you can do after this is fall over.
That's okay.
And this is fine. Like you're both pretty. It's nothing to overthink. Right, but big lesson to learn here would be bend that leg, do little leg, lots of hand, and so yeah, like d'un plus de main. So like really go with the hand and get a deep feint without committing too much leg, and then if she overreacts, you just explode on her.
Okay.
That makes sense as well.
Yes, come on.
See, this is good by you, bad by her. I hate middle of the strip. The reason why is anything middle of the strip, you're effectively playing rock, paper, scissors. There's no preparation, there's no story, there's just an action. So there's nothing behind it, which is good. So here you're ready, then later on you end up not being ready. Also, I don't know if you know, but like there's a whole backside of the strip. But
it was when her fencing changed a lot, she always used to go back, and then one day she started going forward, and now she doesn't want to go back at all. Like
you look really strong from what I gather. Like you look like you're physically stronger than most of your opponents. So my guess would be once you realize that, you're like, well, I don't need to go back. And you got a lot of success with it, which is good. And you're still going to get a lot of success with it. It's not inherently bad. Like in the match we're going to watch later with Beljajeva, she doesn't really go back that much. So it's not actually a bad thing. It's just that you have to be aware of it. Because there's no shame in ceding ground, and I'll show you something later, and it's like mind blowing.
Okay.
Actually, hate going back.
See, look at this. So here. So look at this front leg. So right, you kind of go, you stop, amazing. You're an actual monster, so you just get this huge parry. But you're so like off balance, you can't find the riposte. Like I think that's 6-1 around the world. Right? Had you been in balance here, look at this straight leg, which is like granted, like she went into your attack, so like we can't be too picky. But I think like a bit more balance, and you actually just knock her out there. Like it's over. But also, this actually like goes really well into the point of backing up once in a while. Because here, like, see, so you kind of you press, and then you retreat.
Yeah.
So you do this. The retreat, or this, I guess, hop back, forces a decision from her. Does she want to follow you, or does she want to keep? Does she want to keep doing nothing? So this is how you can be in control with 1 or 2 retreats, right? So as soon as she does this, she follows, and she's like, "Oh, I got her," and maybe like it might not have been conscious from you, but you were kind of ready, right? So had you watched that closer, you would have absolutely murdered this hit, but it happened. But you get it though, like where that retreat forced her to do something.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Oh. See, this is you not being ready.
Yeah.
See, so now you wanted to play. She wanted to play rock paper scissors, but you weren't able to shut it down. Also, you looked at the machine. I think if I remember properly, I think we can chalk up a lot of things to not being ready here.
My coach told me the same thing.
Yeah, she was
Oh,
fast.
see?
Yeah.
Let's watch it in slow-mo. You start off, you do this big jump, and she was loaded on a leg, so props to her. But even though I think she was right, you still overpowered her.
Yeah.
Right, so imagine you being even like 15% more ready.
Mm.
And then
Oh.
like, right, see, like you're just off and you weren't ready for it. Like imagine if you were. No chance.
Mm.
Same deal, because you're so heavy on the front leg, you're forcing yourself to really stand up to get better balance.
Mm.
See, because to get a riposte right, you need to be kind of planted. And since you're like this, the only way you can really plant yourself is by standing up. And then you end up having to do a big action. So we're kind of sensing a reoccurring theme.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, like you are strong. Like every time something happens, you're overpowering her, which is great. So like honestly, a lot of these things, to me, it's a bit more like focus on these things in your practices whenever that happens again. And you would see like dramatic improvement in like a month or two.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that like that was wicked.
Oh.
See, deep feint, I like that. See, you had the legs engaged.
Mm-hmm.
We're happy with that. See, she took the bait, and now she's like, oh no. You were controlling the blade all the way through. Even though she took preem, you were still on her weak, so it's fine.
Yes. Come,
Blade.
See, middle of the strip, not ready.
Not ready yet.
Like the others, same touching.
She didn't even go arm first. She just foiled you.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see? You kind of missed because had you been ready, or like physically you look relatively ready, but maybe mentally you were like, oh no, then your tips all the way up.
Yeah, not in defense.
No.
That's ugly.
So I think right now we can chalk up 3 or 4 points to balance and being more ready.
Same thing,
Yeah.
I hate this crop. Not necessarily because like it's bad to always do that. It's just right away off the bar, you're just like, I'm going forward, and then she's like, sure, why not? I think it's like an unnecessary shortcut.
Okay.
And see, she goes in on it.
Truly.
And so you have to stand all the way up instead of just thinking on like it, right? See, if you had a proper on guard there, also like this is all in hindsight, right? Like you're in a competition, you're nervous. Like I can nitpick at this all I want, but like you're still a competition, so you got to make do with what you have, right? See, instead of having to stand up, all you had to do was sink in your legs, easy hits. And these are like snowball effects too. Like imagine instead of having this 6-4 mess against you, you landed all those other 4 hits you missed. You'd actually be winning like 6-2, and all of a sudden this bout is done. And I think that's the next part. Or this is okay. So this is something else. So that's the only one we had of that one, right?
Yeah, it was just one hand touch. It was just trying to.
Awesome. So let's move on to. So we'll just watch this one real quick. So far.
No.
So what can we take away here? So actually, that hit was nice because it looks like, oh man, making us dizzy. See, this one had a lot of little legs and a lot of hand, but it looks like you just murdered this person. So we're just get rid of this this public display.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's watch this one. This one we had she was French grip, I think, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And what was? Do you remember this match at all?
I wasn't fencing very well that day, so I was just managing the match basically.
It was the last pool game, I think, from Paris. No, it was an under 20s one, I think, just before.
Junior, okay, big event.
So yeah, that'd be an under 20s national circuit, I think.
So what was going on in your mind? So do you like the fact that you weren't fencing well? What was going on in your mind?
I'm very frustrated and annoyed, and because it was my last match, I was kind of fed up with it. But then it started to work out for me, so I don't know. I managed it pretty well at the end, I think, but I hated it. But
just felt like you weren't in it.
Yeah. It's not about fencing. Yeah, not
so
great.
What frustrated you before this match?
Well, my point wasn't in place. My footwork is horrible. Honestly, just.
So are those thoughts just the way you're processing them? So do your thoughts process the same way while you were there, like the whole time? Were you just like telling yourself that you suck?
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Don't do.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, like don't be depressed. But there's one way you need to be able to fix that, because otherwise you start spiraling and you just get angrier.
Mm-hmm.
Just like try to see, like, focus on one thing at a time. How can I make myself better? So you can even start like, what is going well today? Oh, I got a pin. Cool. Start with that and then move from there. So instead of like just try to focus on one thing, be like, right now I need to fix this. So how do I do that? I'll just focus on my back leg, and whatever happens after that happens.
Mm-hmm.
But telling yourself that you suck is very destructive, and the more you start losing, you just end up giving away a match for free. But anyway, armchair psychologist.
No, it's true. It's something that actually had quite a few times the year before last now, when it started off okay, and then as soon as the match went badly, it was, I'm not fencing well today, and it was sort of hard to get back into it, wasn't it? You struggled to get back.
Well, it's really hard too, because like you start off, and then we kind of indirectly try to give ourselves a reason as to why we lost, and then we start like, we're just like, oh, it's okay to lose. I was not fencing well. So and then we kind of lose track of the goal. So did you have a plan before this match?
Absolutely not. No, just not backing at the end of the strip, but push her at the end of the hoop.
Okay, well, it's already a good start. Like, I see a French grip fencer who's that stiff. Like, my first objective is just to beat the blade out of their hand, like just make them drop it. So the idea seems good. That was like, you didn't know if you wanted to step or lunge or flesh, so you did a bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fine. It's probably right. You were having a bad day, so you're a little confused. This is something that's easy to do if you could practice. Is that at some point, like when it's time to go, you just have to commit to your idea.
Mhm.
So I like this a lot, actually. It's very like Gérant-ish. Whenever someone tries to like punish their hand, he instantly just like lets them know who's boss, right? She kind of tries to poke at you,
Yeah.
and you're like, no, get out of here, which is good. And like she has to be scared now, so you're commanding respect. This is your strip. Amazing. So if someone, see, I hate this so much, but by her, by you, it's amazing because you're just getting a free hit off someone who's like, oh, I should just lunge in the middle of the strip. Why did that miss? Very, yeah. So you miss a lot of parries.
Mm.
You have the blade. It's hard to like off this one alone. I would say that the step in is not necessary.
Mhm.
It could also be because you're very like it's to me it's partially because you're very heavy on your front leg. Although here it's not too bad. Is this a later match? Oh, this is the most recent one we probably have, isn't it?
No, it was before. The most recent one would be the one before.
Okay.
The dates aren't good on them, but this is from. This would be
September.
Yeah.
A year ago.
September 2019.
Actually.
So yeah, a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Nearly a year and a half ago now. The start of the season before last.
Yes. I can see. Yeah. So what's odd to me is you have the blade and you decide to close it in more, which. Oh my god, she's just fallen over. So you just knocked her off balance.
Like it was too close.
So a lot of that, yeah. So I think like we're really gonna have to get you to like really sink your legs instead of just forcing the issue. That should be yours, but live and learn. Yeah, coach tells her to calm down. This was a pull bout, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the last pull bout.
And like, were you in any danger of not making the cut, or you're okay?
No, I think it was already. Yeah. I don't think she did make the cut. Oh yeah, it was either going to be very close or. I didn't. Did you make the cut? Yeah, you did.
If she won this, it was pretty much guaranteed.
No.
Okay,
I think
so she really needed this win.
Yeah, needed it, and it was going to be close. I think she went through in but not very well ranked. We got a tough draw in the first knockout, I think.
Yeah.
So I think she lost she won the first one and then lost 3 or something. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw you're talking to the ref. Is that something you do commonly, or it just happened?
No, pretty much never happens.
Okay, good. So arguing with referees, especially depending on the levels or whatever, especially in pools, they get some of the lower refs to do them. It's a really easy way to piss yourself off.
Yeah, no, you're pretty good on that. You never say anything. Just accepting it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that was good. What I would have obviously you won, and like this opponent isn't particularly good.
No.
So like we take those. But like in these scenarios, like if you had a squirmy fencer like that, it's like you're here, because you kind of do it, but like you get her to the back. So when you're strangling someone like that at the back, they're always ready, right? So it's kind of like how we talk. If you just take one step back just to see what they do, if they follow you, you know you're in charge, and then you just kind of keep going. But we won't we won't just sit on that too long. So this one's done. So back leg balance. So this one sounded interesting because she was what, rank 1
She's
cadet or something?
She was the #1 under 17 last year in the world rankings. So it was just it was a nice one to get her in the pool, but it wasn't one that she was were expecting to do anything with. Really, it was just in a fun one to fence. She was a straight gripper who was just, I mean, she won like comfortably, I think 5-3, but she didn't really have to force to win, did she?
No.
I think maybe you went in with like, she's better than me and I'm not going to win this one, a sort of mentality, which isn't great either. So
it's really, really hard to not do that, right? Because the person in front of you is really good. I think the first time I fenced Grumier, I went in and I was like, he did this really nice underhand hit, and I was like, wow, that guy's a god. And like it's just
how
brutal because
aren't you just tempted to watch him fence when you're fencing Grumier?
Exactly. He's beautiful, so I got my butt kicked and I didn't really fence.
Well, that's okay.
Which is what bothered me the most about it.
Yeah.
But such is life. It's hard. It's a hard lesson to learn. So what a lesson I did with Eric Bois is he had me show them, like he showed me like they're all human, right? The good days, bad days, whatever. So I do an exercise with him where he was like, I need to lunge at him straight before he can parry, just to humanize him, as it were. So as it would turn out, I'm able to lunge directly at an Olympic gold medalist before he can parry. So it's just little things like I even watch this and I still think you can beat this person.
Thomas.
Sorry, the filming wasn't very good on this. I was
okay.
excited. It was a European circuit, I think, this one.
Alright, so you're doing your pressure, which is fine. One thing I notice on her right away is she's pretty wide on her on guard. So here, right, imagine instead of really leaning into it, you put in a bit more front leg, a bit more straight back leg, basically a better lunge. You'd be able to get the same kind of effect, a nice feint or even just threat, without having to give everything. Right, so just efficiency.
Yeah.
See, I think you could, I mean, I can't really see her, which is fine. But like, there's no reason you couldn't have hit that, right?
Yeah, no, don't know why I missed.
Well, you kind of see her, you go from shift forward to shift back, and all of a sudden, right, you're losing, like everything's coming from back here. It's not, like your energy's not forward anymore. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get it.
We can even see it in slow-mo, like, she must, I wish I could see what she was doing, but maybe she did a feint or something, and all of a sudden, ooh, everything's back, like your whole body language shifts, and for some reason you start respecting her. And obviously there's a different, like, fencing respect, that is. But I think, like, if you just straight fleshed into that, like, it might have been a double, maybe yours, but it would have made, like, it would have made it would have made a dent in it, right? Especially, like, the top level guys. They're human. Like, if a person like you, ranked, like, whatever it was, like 80th or whatever, shows up, and then you just show them that you're gonna flesh at them, oh boy.
You almost give it too much respect. I mean.
Yeah, exactly. So here, this is kind of what we were talking about in the last touch. So you try to, like, punish that little hand hit, but you sink everything, and then she just picks you up. That was really free. Imagine, like, your back was straight, and then you're able to have a better on guard. You're like, see, everything from the leaning is just punishing you here. And obviously, like, 2-0 on the French gripper and a 5-point match is just nightmare fuel. I like the effort there. So I really I like that you're always trying to punish these mistakes. It's really good intuition. And then why do you miss? You pump everything back. So you had control of the blade. Like, she's running for her life. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think you were in the right there. She got a little bit lucky, but for me, you pumped a little bit too much back because you kind of had to keep control, but you doubted yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
But, like, this is one, like, if the match was close, you kind of throw that one away, but now you're down 3-0, so you're like, ah, crap.
Double, anything off this one?
So that was similar to the first hit that happened. I think the first hit should have been that.
Okay.
If you remember the first one back.
Yeah.
Double.
Yeah, so she's just doubling, so gambling, which is fine. For her, it's fine. For you, not so fine. So right in the middle of the strip, you're down 4-1.
Yeah.
Should you be doing counterattacks?
Not really.
No, you should be, like, if you want to win or if you want to guarantee single, if you're going to do a counterattack like that, it should be accompanied with, like, 12 retreats. Or you're just trying to wrap her blade and just basically disarm her. Right, so in a situation like that, you need singles, right? Then if someone says, oh, my indicator, you're down 4-1, like, it's already pretty bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, back leg balance ready, middle strip is bad. So which one was this? So she was highly ranked in France, right?
Number 1.
Yeah, number 1. She's under 17, maybe she's under 20. She's under 17s, number 1 last year, and she's in the top couple under 20s in France this year. Basically, she's like
honestly
super.
The thing, you can kick her butt as well.
Yeah.
We would love to.
Yeah.
First hit she got, she, like, screamed in your face. That is like the biggest sign of insecurity.
Yeah, she does that a lot. Yeah.
Someone who screams, like, it's not that their hits are lucky, but there's a lot of, like, insecurity behind a lot of their hits, and for her it's
she's generally pretty she's physically pretty strong, the girl, and athletic. Generally, she's a pain defense.
Yeah, and to me this one actually felt kind of lucky on her part-ish, but, like, yeah, she's kind of your style too. Like, this is someone who can actually oppose you physically.
Yeah.
Actually, it looks similar when you look at these fences.
So this hand feint, would you classify this as a hand feint?
Yeah.
You just kind of wiggle your blade in front of her bell guard.
No.
So like yes, but no. Right? If you're gonna do a hand feint, like give yourself the effort to go past the guard, so there's actually a threat of getting hit.
Yeah.
Because that one you're just waving. But had you done that and like done a really fast step, right? Then it's a bit more threatening. But otherwise, to me, that's just waving your blade. So you get in really wow. So that's a lot of distance. So she sucks you in, then gets it. So this is where you get really punished because you don't really draw back a lot to see what they're gonna do. So it's a lot of push, no pull. Middle of the strip, not ready. Ah, this friggin' crossover. Look at that. And then what should you do? So if you were to start fencing again, I would want you to like just every point stop crossing over, whatever it is, do 2 steps.
Okay.
Because you always want to put yourself on the left of the piece, then all the time. Like automatically, she wants to put herself right on the left edge for some reason all the time. And it's the first thing she does automatically all the time. Like tries to get on that left edge.
So I guess it stops people from fleshing.
I don't know really. Why?
I don't really know why I do that.
It could be habit, like it could just be comfort. And honestly though, even in these tournaments, I would be kind of pissed off fencing on the left side, because a lot of them they don't put the machines 1 meter away from the strip like they should be, because obviously they need room. It's fine, but like you might hit the table, you're gonna lose a parry.
Yeah.
Look how strong you are. Like she goes in just to test you, and you almost knock her out. So if you ever have any confidence issues that you're not strong enough, you're lying to yourself. So don't worry. So this guy here, because look how much you had to give. It's just because your front leg has to do a lot of the work. You end up covering with your back. And as an old guy in the future, you might regret it. Right, and see, you didn't punish with your legs there. Honestly, you punished with your hips and your front leg. And see how like freaked out she got. And this here, you can become very predictable because you end up having. Good on you for just getting back on guard. See, like a lot of it's not coming from the legs; it's coming from just like this region. But like you command respect. Like she's literally like this top in France, top in the world. You have them running away from you, and I'm talking full sprint. But like one thing I can commend her is like I love how locked and loaded she is. Like ideally, if you were a bit more like that, I think you would just absolutely murder her. Because she really likes that 8 and go, and you.
Go on.
Yeah, all the time she does that.
But like, you overpowered it. Like by going straight, that's amazing. Right? She attempts to beat her blade, and not today.
Yeah, it's good, miss. Go on.
So far, what I see is her first hit was a little bit sluggish, kind of lucky. Second hit, what was the second hit? But this all happened in like 30 seconds. Okay, I guess I'll have to go back. But I remember two of the hits like were basically on. Oh, it was the middle of the strip. You just weren't ready, and you get instant punish. So right away, this could be 2-1 kind of thing. Like it doesn't have to be as dire as it seems already. But was this a 15 or a pool?
Pool.
Pool. And like she's nervous too. Like number one, and like there's actually a lot of pressure on her because if she loses to you, and people are like, oh, who'd you lose to? Oh, this rank, whatever it is. Look at that. She tries it again, and she can't. Beat? No. Do you hit her? Yeah, I guess you hit her foot on the way in.
Yeah,
But the fact that, like,
Go, miss.
granted it's ugly, you were still. I think you would have gotten you would have gotten everything after anyway.
The same thing every time she's got beat and go. You know?
Beat, go. She tightens it up a little bit. But also, you got way too close, right? You know she's going to do that, right? And
Yeah.
then what do? Huge step, not quite ready. Or perhaps not at all. She does it, goes in. So here at this one, right? So you're fencing this girl, you need to do two things, right? So there's I don't know if you know the distances I get, right? So once you go past tip to tip, people are basically one lunge away from your body. So right, so once you go past, right, so you guys go from here. So you're tip to tip. So right now it would be about, you guys could probably do a lunge to each other's hands. So here, she doesn't feel threatened. You're not sure what's going on because she's just standing up. So she's trying to bamboozle you. But she took her blade away, and then you got really close for some reason. So now you guys are about a step away from each other's hands, and maybe a step lunge from the body. So once you get past this distance, right, you know she wants to do 8. If you go past this line right now, you know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So see, this could have been a good opportunity, right? You sneak out of the distance to go back into it, but she ends up nailing you on it. So we can kind of read her, but this is on you to be ready. But obviously, like, this is all 20/20 Heinz. Nice.
Come on.
So you were ready on the middle of the strip, and she's freaking out.
Bernard Lemay, s'il vous plaît, au DT, Émilien Dupuis, Marie-Christine Hannet. Luc Rousset, directeur technique. Luc Rousset, directeur technique immédiatement. Gladys Vendée, directeur technique.
Double? Not even. So let's... Obviously, there's still a minute left too, so it's let's see, like clockwork. You get into, you go from here to where she, like, see right now she can't really beat your blade, but she's like clockwork. As soon as she finds the distance to get that, like, and then for you, you have the habit, you really want to fight back. So I think you can absolutely just, I think you can annihilate this person.
We would love to do that. It's the same touch a lot of times on that one. Collapsing.
So you have a plan to go back. It's okay to reset. So far, things are all pretty easy to practice if you could fence.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we can fence here, we can fence outside, but not in a salle.
So they're all closed in France, eh?
They're closed except for the ones who are called up for like national team training, but that's just a small number. And the juniors can train, but where her club is too far away for her to get there and get back before the curfew.
Oh wow, that sucks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, in theory, she's still 17. She's still a junior, still 17. Well, she's 18 in 2 months.
Don't give up. Like, I mean, it is what it is. Everyone's gonna have different challenges. Like,
Yeah,
just
sure.
it is unfortunate. This kind of like, unfortunately, this is part where like the good are gonna get better because they were still able to train. So it's almost like you've got like capitalism, but like for fencing, like the good did better, and
she's got friends who've been training for like the last year, been able to fence 3 times a week or 4 times a week.
Had a competition today.
It's competition as well today. Just for those there's like 8 girls selected for a training camp, 8 or 10, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's so what we can do is just hopefully work on ourselves, unfortunately, or fortunately, depends how you look at it. So we'll have to come up with some footwork drills, which could be relatively easy to do, I think. But first, let's look at ta-da. So in this bout, she actually ends up losing. I'm going to kind of fast forward through this because otherwise we're going to be here forever. But she started getting points when she wasn't afraid to just take a quick retreat every once in a while. Because she actually, like, she gets absolutely smashed at the beginning of this bout. But, like, see, she kind of has the same thing as you, where she's a bit more front-loaded, but it would be nice to see more of your back leg and her, like, notice how, like, her hips, torso, like, everything's very straight.
Mm-hmm.
And see, there's a bit of, like, she's not in a hurry to push. She's pushing, but it's a bit more methodical, right? You're like a train on a train track, and you forgot the brakes. See, if you're able to do that in your bouts, I think you would take off, as it were.
What, to move back out of distance again?
Yeah, exactly. Just being able to move back instead of being very focused on the forward. See, I see here she's very focused on the forward, and she gets caught on the front foot timing because the Chinese girl's a little bit ahead, and then she just takes off. Ooh. Unfortunate. So there's also like the Chinese, they love absorbing pressure. Like they'll fence back there all day, every day if they can. So right there, now she's just pushing, and she gets really punished for it. Middle of the strip not ready. Wait, are we watching you? But like you see, like the high level fencers, like they make mistakes. It's fine. Like everyone's human. Just a lot of times, just how they adapt that's different. See, so this one she didn't just go deep. See, she kind of retreated a bit. She took her time. And then she started with the hand. The hand ended up hitting. So I think one of the keys here is how patient she can be. Okay, so let's see how she kind of digs herself out. It gets pretty bad.
Thing with her arm like you do. Same.
See, like this is very like I'm assuming you copied this off watching her.
Yeah.
Which is great. It's awesome. It's really good. But look at that here. See, she actually just retreated. Right. So as soon as you show that you're willing to retreat, every attack from her has to command a lot more respect. Because otherwise, all she has to do is worry about the timing when you overstep. And now she's like, oh crap, she went in.
It's like watching you fence, though, to say.
Not ready, middle is a straight.
Yeah.
But it's fine. See, like I think it's good that you could find common ground with someone at such a high level, right?
Yeah, definitely.
That was a really good hit. Oh my god, she's strong. So the Chinese girl thought she caught her flat-footed and she just beat Blade out of the way. Right, and in this case, I'm pretty sure Beljajeva is the underdog. No, she's the top seed. So this Chinese girl is the underdog, right? So it's. Oh, I think she was in a right here, but she actually missed. Chinese girl misses. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Right, and it happens. Like sometimes you can do everything right, and you're still gonna miss. That's life. But it's up to you, right? Sometimes you gotta. It's really hard because you get pissed off. Oh my god, it's you. You have to be able to kind of take the subjectivity out of it. Just look at it objectively. Like, was I right?
Oh, that's nice.
Wow, that's nice.
That step lunge on the knee.
Wow.
Yeah, and she can do that because she's really well balanced. I think if you were to start that, you would fall over around here because on your feint, you're so committed that you have to use your momentum to like you're not pushing off this leg for the momentum. See, the camera can't even keep up. See, she's really planting that leg as to where you would get to here, and you would probably like put your leg down, but then the momentum would carry you forward, not the actual lunge. So basically, respect like the frame of your first action, and other things fall into place. Sometimes it really gets caught up on the ending motion, but you're like, oh well, if you took a picture at the very end of that, the lunge was perfect.
Oh.
As a whole, see, she's doing the same prep, right? It's basically the same. Like now these steps are getting dangerous. And now she's like, okay, you know what? She wants to lunge. I'm going to stop her. Same prep. Wants to flash. Just kidding.
Boom.
Right.
Right? It's really good adaptation. And like she smells blood. Look at that. Like she just figured, like same deal. She just figured it out. The Chinese girl, like, is she going to lunge or is she going to...
That's so nice, eh?
Right, it's the same feint. See how like it's kind of like how like I guess like every road like leads to the center of Paris or something like that, right? You can get to the center you can get there by a lot of different roads. So you just the same feint gives her a lot of options. And see here, she's got another panic flash.
Oh.
I think here, this is, I don't know if it was on purpose, but she kind of, instead of like following the retreat, she planted herself instead of retreating. And she punished. Unfortunate.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, she's not letting her start those now. So let's see how she adapts. Nice.
Oh.
So now she's loaded. Now she's like locked and loaded, ready. See, like she doesn't even get it anywhere near as deep, but she's locked and loaded to just leave.
Wow.
Like that's a long lunge, right?
Yeah.
Not today.
Gets her body out of the way. So.
She's pissed off. But that's okay. Like she's human. Like she has emotions.
Gets her to go and then finishes her.
Right, so like it's all based off the same thing, just varying distances. It's still pressure. This is still what you like to do. I don't even think we saw her go to the back here at all. But it's pressure and then take it away.
Yeah.
Right, so instead of going in, right, because you in your bout against that #1 French girl, every time she would beat, you would go into it instead of just leaving and making making her waste energy. And then this is pretty smart. She probably just needs a breather.
So she's mixing it up where sometimes she'll go in and then she'll step away when the Chinese girl lunges and goes up, and then now and again she'll go and do a step lunge and just drive in, and she doesn't know.
Exactly. So the same preparation leads to probably 3 different actions. So now suddenly every step has to command a lot of respect.
That's it.
Because realistically, a lot of the top girls, they're good at. I think she was right on this. Just unfortunate, but like realistically, they're all good. They have like 3 actions that they do, and then everything else is kind of pepper. Let's see. I think she was in the right, but that was just a really nice lunge.
Yeah, more distant.
But like, see, this is all stuff that I think you can do.
Yeah.
So let's freeze frame.
It's true, it's the same glitch and everything.
All right, so
looking in the mirror.
Right, if we bend this even just a tiny bit more, but honestly, I would even like look how much stable her core is than yours. Like this. Like I really like this like kind of line here that she has with her back. So where are you? You're kind of like arched, like especially here. So if you even wanted a mild workout, you could do some some back workouts, like upper back, lower back, really get your core engaged. So you can even do this in the mirror, just practice your on guard, doesn't hurt. And then let's see, I think she wins this one. So we'll fast forward it and then we'll call it a day. But like you see, like I don't think you're that far off of this. Like obviously there's, you know, probably 10 years of experience, but let's not get caught up in the details. But I don't think there's anything it's nothing that you can't achieve. Right? And even if you don't make like a cadet team, a junior team, who cares? I've witnessed like people start fencing. There was a Canadian guy who started fencing in his early 20s, and he medaled the World Cup like 7 years later.
Wow.
So, right? It's nothing out of the ordinary. Or I mean, it is extraordinary. It's just a lot of hard work. So like, especially when I was a kid, I was really caught up because I was like, oh, I didn't have great results as a junior, and then like 2 years later, I made a top 32 at a World Cup. So it's like, don't get too hung up on it. It's not the end game. And like a lot of the things, even if you, like, I don't know if like even after COVID you decide not to fence anymore, you're gonna have learned a lot about yourself through this. So like, don't worry about like the results themselves. Like you had the guts to show up. A lot of people don't even want to show up. Right? So just like focus on the positive. It is really hard, especially when you can't fence. So anyway, I hope you'll keep it up.
Yeah, so you're super motivated. Yeah.
This is a cool matchup because Kong, she rose up really fast in like a span of 3 years. And actually it's probably like one of their more. So in here actually I guess on paper she's the underdog. What I find interesting here is that she's backing up. I don't know what I've never like fenced or watched her very much, so I wonder why she's commanding so much respect out of it. That was good. So she's pushing her. And she's got her arm like really bent, so seems to be being abused. Nice. So this is on the front foot timing, I think. This one I didn't watch beforehand. I was just curious because I was wondering how she would handle a tall lefty. Okay, yeah. So see, she did something you kind of do, which you get in kind of close to your arm bent, and then it gets punished. But look at her forward, how tiny creeping in. Right, that can only be done if you're super locked and loaded. I'm gonna fast forward through this.
Yeah.
This is the same one as that one we watched earlier.
Your tips in the right place.
Bet you this is one small step followed by another small step. Oh, she's actually setting it up from a while ago.
Yeah.
See, so she kind of does it here, and so notice how she kind of steals distance. This is really cool. She goes here. She doesn't actually really go back. She just
Creeping
right?
closer.
She's just creeping really slowly. And on the next one,
Too close
just
and
kidding,
done.
too close. This is
Wow.
good job.
Yeah,
I love these nuances.
yeah, that's nice. Just steals the bit of ground there. She puts a point.
Yeah, well, it's sometimes like she was kind of what's the word? Like kind of training her like la dompté.
Yeah.
Apprivoiser, I guess would be the. I don't know what that word is in English, but anyway, she's just like training her to to see that feint and doing nothing, and all of a sudden you're like, just kidding, I'm too close.
Yeah. Perfect. Putting it to sleep almost.
Exactly. Then here, she does kind of say she was smart. She did the same thing when she's actually finishing. Yeah, she's trying the same thing again. Oh man, this was so like on the mental here. This is rough, right? She just got a 4-0 start in 1 minute. So right here, what happened in the last minute? She was being very reactive. So anytime, yeah. Anytime she starts backing up with no forward intent, I can get a bit of a, yeah, like she just needs to go forward, which is it's fine. But for yourself, even like if I was you, right, in this match, or this makes no sense. But like being in this situation, you're like, I can't go here anymore. I just get murdered. That was awesome.
Nice.
Nice. So it all started off from. So she did the same feint that she did before, right? But now she just closed it. This is to me. This is just middle of the strip gambling. This one.
Rock, paper, scissors again.
Yeah, exactly. We all like everybody falls victim to it. We all do it.
Yeah.
There was nothing. There's no setup. It's just literally go in and see what happens.
There was no story behind that. It was just here's the last page. So why?
Yeah, you can't do that one, can you?
So it's that same feint again. So she's basing a lot, and oh man, she's scared of that one. She knows. She kind of knows it. Like she gets that little feint, she just hops back. Also, like think like if you want like a really good on guard, check out Kong. She's got one of the best in the business. Or Mulhausen, she's got her.
Yeah.
Nice. So she's changing the lineup a bit. So there, she didn't get as deep as she usually gets. Right? Because normally here she would have done a little step, try to go for here. So she just changed it up. So instead of going with a step shorter lunge, she just went with full lunge, which confused her.
Maybe she keeps the blades.
I think what's important here is that instead of backing up kind of passively, right, she went hand-ish, she stayed really active on it. But also part of me thinks she missed, but it's you take those. But like she kept fighting and was balanced. Man, she.
The same prep at the start, then.
So right now she tried to do the one before that. She tried to do that long lunge. She got dismantled. Then she tried to do the short again, and she just got dismantled again. So now knowing that she actually wins this bout, I'm curious to see how she's gonna do it. Because right now her two preps or her two main actions are getting super shut down. Just close the line.
He goes in the same prep all the time.
Yeah. So hand distance. So the thing to notice here, though, Kong's arm is pretty much extended, so she doesn't have much more distance to give. So since she's foot up, it's on her timing. One of the big reasons she's able to explode all the time is I love how stable this is here. It's always locked and loaded. Oh my god, this is perfect. This is actually like just timestamp this, rewatch these hits. These are awesome. You could like this is something I could see you do. Right? She kind of sneaks in when the other person gets too close. She just closes the line, like just breaks her wrist.
Yeah.
Oh, so nice. She was one of the. For me, this is obviously like 2020 hindsight. Like as a spectator, we're watching and we're like, yeah, that was silly. But this was a ill-advised flesh because it came from nothing, in my opinion. Like just little feint, doesn't show much, and then she just stays out of distance and just picks her off.
Yeah.
Because the other earlier in the match, right, second period, like she was getting put here, but she was getting in distance where her 6 went in, and she got demolished. So we learned quite a bit. So I think back leg, middle of the strip, ready. It's okay to just retreat and watch your opponent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, good one to copy, Beljajeva.
Yeah.
And the same prep with like 3 actions as well.
I keep forgetting I'm also on push to talk.
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Oh no, I was talking to myself for like 2 seconds. So what did you think of that? Did you like the kind of this online coaching thingish?
Yeah, it really helped me out.
Yeah, amazing, brilliant.
Yeah, you pointed out those some of the same things my coach did, so it's really helpful. Yeah.
Good, awesome. I like that. And then I guess next step would be, I'd have to, like, do you guys have enough room at your place to do footwork?
Yes, got garden, yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. So, for now, I won't give you any specific like footwork routine. If you can just take a 5 minutes of footwork or something, record it and send it to me, just free footwork, and I want to see what it's like.
Yeah. Okay.
And then
no
I'll
problem.
send you one, and then I'll send you, and then I'll make like, to be honest, I don't really have a footwork plan for you yet, so I'd have to make one up, and then I'll send you that, and then we can go through it together.
Yeah. Yeah. Perfect.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Mm.
That was really good, huh?
Amazing.
Great. Yeah. If you like it, if you have any friends who want to try it, like I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm still testing this. Like I'm really not planning on charging for a while or anything. So if anyone wants to just try it, I want to see what it's like.
Oh yeah. I'll pass the words to my friend.
I would have sent you one of my bouts, but I can't find any I've got on tape. So.
Yeah,
Not
and
interesting.
it's perfectly fine. Like that's one of the problems. A lot of people are like, "Yeah, I have nothing up to date," and I'm like, "Yeah, don't worry, neither does almost anyone." And those who do are kind of fencing illegally, so they can't show it.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome. That's really good. Eh?
Mm.
That's some stuff to.
So
stuff
yeah,
to do with.
that's awesome. So next step, footwork, and then if you can, I don't know, look up like bouts that you liked, and like find me like 4 or 5 touches that you really liked. I want to see how you think about touches.
Okay. Yeah.
Because right here, this was just me rambling about the touches, which is cool. I like hearing myself talk, but I want to see how you think. Like I want to see a touch that you liked, and then I want to see why you liked it, and then just kind of see your thought process.
Yeah. Okay. I will find them. No problem.
Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, feel free. I don't know, leave feedback wherever you want. If you feel like sharing this, I'll upload it on YouTube at some point this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
I'll put something on Reddit. That's okay. I'll put something in that Reddit.
Yeah, go ahead. Anything helps. Like I'm
okay,
not
cool.
not trying to get rich off of it. I'm just
no,
trying this project out. So
yeah, it's brilliant. It's really, really good.
Yeah, really enjoyed it.
We'll do some footwork. You'll do some footwork. Find some touches you like.
Yeah.
And I'll put some Reddit stuff.
Yeah, just give me about 5 minutes of footwork that I can kind of roast you on.
That should be easy.
Yeah. Which is fine, right? When something is like, when you're already doing well with something like, to me, like the bar on your footwork is very low right now. So imagine how quickly you would improve with improved footwork. Like you're doing quite well and you're handicapping yourself. Imagine if we take off that handicap. Right, all of a sudden, like an issue is no longer your footwork. You're like, all we have to do is focus on tactics. Right, so yeah, and since you can't fence, it's a good time to just absolutely drill those fundamentals.
Yeah.
Okay,
awesome. Cool. Have a good night. I think it's like midnight for you guys now, or 11.
Yeah, about half an hour. Yeah.
So get some rest, and yeah, anything you need, maybe next week or the week after, we'll see what fits us.
Okay, cool. Okay. Thanks very much.
My pleasure. Have a good night, guys.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye.